shirk pain. I do not say why me anymore. There was a time I would say, why me? Now I'm like, there's a reason it's me. You know, if you believe in a power above, it's chosen you because you're capable and something beautiful comes from that. So I think that it's the darkest nights that have kind of given me the maximum light. And I mean that, it's not a blurb.
Sure, sure. Whatever you say, we know you just mean it, and it's like right from the heart.
I wanted to add to that is that authenticity.
Yeah.
That is golden. There's few people we know about that, authenticity. And then you see the real leaders like, Elon Musk and so many others.
I beg to differ on that one.
Yeah, yeah.
You're not my favorite person in the world,
Okay,
sorry.
but he's authentic though. At least he speaks his
You
mind.
make the most comfortable
That's
cars.
why people don't like him. You see, people
Messed up Twitter completely.
people love him and people hate him. That's because he's himself. You know.
So Sharika, tell me, Sharika has been from a very privileged background, with her family being into politics. She's seen all the luxuries, and I know her for many, many, many years, right? Now, I always felt that you having that privileged background have made things very easy for you. Now, I wanted to know that did that privileged background and all that you had in your favor, according to us seeing you from outside, did it work as a catalyst for you to achieve your dreams, or it was vice versa?
Very personal questions, Kiran.
Sorry, but I had to ask.
Actually, generally, my family hasn't been very supportive of my career and all that. With the writing, I would say I was just quietly doing my thing and consistently and persistently and by myself. And always knew that one day I'm going to be published and one day I'm going to be, and that vision was always fixed in some other timeline. It was just that I had to get to that time. With my work, it was very, with personal life, don't ask. But when it came to my writing, it was just the one thing that I was very sure about. And I had to really go the way that most struggling writers have to call up publishing houses, send my manuscripts out to various publishing houses, trying to get agents, chiseling. That's why it's taken such a long time. But yeah, and so I always say you can be from whatever background, you can be from a poor, rich, whatever, but arts, as Pooja knows, like even if you're from a family that is very well known, and so many we've seen young ones, children of very big stars, try to make it, and that one first step, okay, fine, your family background can give you, but if you don't prove yourself in your craft, then you're washed out. So that's it.
Right, absolutely. So, Priyanka, we were just talking back there. I always loved politics. And I always thought that if I get into politics, maybe I would have the power to create the change. But I was told, and the impression was such that, hey, if you get into politics, you will not have a good personal life. Right? So I thought, okay, I will do my NGO and things like that. It was like a set mindset because being a woman politician is not a regular career. You're right in the front line. Now, I want to know from you that as a woman politician, have you ever felt, again, I would use the word chained, or have you felt a sense of freedom being a woman politician, or it has restricted you in many ways?
So, my political journey has not been the conventional journey where you start from college life and then from there you mature to come into a political party. I was married at 21. I had babies by the time I was 28, and I jumped into politics at the age of 30. And I started with the youth congress because youth is in politics is considered up to like 60 years old, so they're considered young. So 30, I thought I was like 30, the third decade of my life, but they thought I was young, so I joined the youth congress with two children. And that is how my trajectory began. And whatever I did, everything came from the heart, simply because. When you say yes, of course, even when you said your parents, your family warned you about it, your friends did not want you to be a part of it, I got all of that. My own family told me that what are you jumping into? What are you even doing? You have a good business going for yourself. You have two lovely children to look after. What makes you take this jump? And I thought that till the time I don't change this mindset that why should a woman jump into politics, I think I should be the first one jumping into it and making that change. Making that this entire stigma around the idea of being in politics needs to go. Of course, the journey is fraught with a lot of challenges. Of course, there are lots of decisions you have to take at particular point in time, but you do them with that intent of changing how the dynamics works. Until you don't start making that change or speaking up for that change. Many people tell me that why do you keep speaking about women empowerment? Why do you bring women intersectionality in every speech you make? I do that simply because there are very few women voices in the parliament, and if I don't do my job for the women, for my gender, then I'm failing my gender. So it has been a journey which is unconventional in a way. It has been fraught with challenges. Many people have also told me, Are, you should get into the movies. Are you into politics? Oh, do you know anything about crypto? Oh, do you know anything about the economy? Oh, your maths IQ is like just so zilch. It's the girl math which is doing a trend on Instagram. So what? I'll live with my incompetencies, but as far as my commitment to my cause is totally, I find myself competent enough to do it, I'll continue to do it. So that's what kept me going.
Super. Wow. I'm getting inspired here.
Kiran, I mean, we should ask you some questions. Let's ask Kiran about her journey as well. So Kiran runs a foundation called Fempowerment, as she had said before, and I've seen her like in the last 15 years rise from where to where. Now she's gone global, and giving and empowering so many women that are underprivileged to teaching them. Tell us a little bit about.
So I've just realized something of late. I used to always believe that only women who are working and only women who are independent are the empowered women. And I was really wrong.
Yeah, absolutely.
I was very wrong because I used to feel anybody who's working and is independent is empowered. And over the years, I learned that a happy woman is an empowered woman. And that happiness ka definition could be anything. Somebody would like to be a homemaker and be happy. Great. Somebody wants to be a mother and be happy. My friend here, she's happily given up her career for the time being and is taking care of her child and is loving it. And she's feeling empowered. Or my friend who's a homemaker by choice. So happiness is something which can empower you. I met so many women in different villages, the underprivileged women, and they all have different definitions. So I have learned one thing, Sharika, that a happy woman is an empowered woman, and happiness definition could be different for different women. It's not what I think or you think. That's what I have learned. So yeah, I think all women should be happy.
Yeah.
That's all. Okay, I have one last question to all these women. It's very important. And since it's an all-women event here, what is the one tip you all want to give to women across all age in matters of heart? Very specifically. Yes,
I just told you that I've rewritten my narrative of when she lived happily ever after. No, but having said that, I listen. I mean, I love men. I love love. I love some of my friends have been married forever. They have got wonderful children. I kind of enjoy the joys of being an aunt, and then they can be taken away, as you know what I mean. So that happens, and I have some who are single. It's a good medley of all of that. So I don't have, just because I'm single doesn't mean I have anything against love. But I'm not looking for a solution. I'm looking for a companion. If somebody is willing to walk ahead when necessary and walk behind when necessary. And I don't want to play house. I don't need your name. I don't need your financial independence. My biological clock is not ticking. I love kids, but then I go on flights, and then I'm like, No, but on a serious note, when I look at the state of the world, and I see children being murdered in Gaza, it makes me feel that I think the best contribution I have made to this planet is not bringing a child into the world. That's what I think on days 2. So about love, I would say my heart is open, and I hope every woman I come across does not allow anybody to take that feeling away from them. We are bigger and better than anybody who might have put a stake in our heart. We must in fact thank the people who have walked all over us who have let us down, who have attempted to break us, because I think with that something new was born.
Wow.
So I think that you don't ever look back and say that you want to erase, like I don't want to erase a line that appears on my face. I'm okay with putting color in my hair. I'm okay with putting makeup on because I'm an actor. But life has given me that wrinkle. I'm not erasing it. You know, I've earned it. So similarly, if there's a relationship that might have gone wrong, it was right at some point. So there's something that you've learned from every human being you've loved, even if the reciprocation was not there. So love does not depend on someone loving you back. And it's not love. So I think thank you to the ones who've broken my heart, to the ones who've taught me music, to the ones who've loved me, to the ones who've just been kind to me, and also the ones who've hurt me terribly, because I think that my heart got split open. There was more love in it to give other people out there, and it's not jaded me, it's not closed me off, and I think that's what we need to do, is just be soft. Don't let the world make you hard.
Yeah, that's
That's
Beautiful.
it.
and I can. That's.
I mean,
what
fight back, kick them where it hurts when you need to. Don't take any rubbish lying down, but be soft. That's it.
Be soft and keep your heart open.
Exactly. That's what I like that, because often when you've had your heart broken, people turn on in the other way, saying that all men are like this, or what, I don't want to have a relationship, I'll have boyfriends, whatever, which is also fine. But I'm saying that I'm also of that school of thought that one shouldn't get hardened because of those experiences. The femininity should still be there. But about the journey of self discovery, what this book is about, I would say those people that lost themselves along the way, and their cups somehow that had been full when they were born, and they were really small, they were born with full cups, and then the cup slowly, drop by drop pours out, and then there's very little left in the cup, or half. You have to first fill that cup up through self-love. And a lot of people, because of societal conditioning, a broken society, actually, we come from. Society in many respects is a broken society because of expectations, paradigms, conditioning, all that. So you are also dealing with that, and some of us have traumas because of that. Now you have to work through all that, get the cup unbecome, empty the cup out, okay, and then fill the cup with yourself, that is self-love, and then your cup is full of love, so you don't feel you need anyone. You want someone that's lovely to share your life, but you don't need them. Like what she was saying, you have to get financially independent, you have to have self-love, you have to feel good about yourself. Every area of your life, I feel that you should be independent, and true self-love is if you're independent in all areas of your life, you keep working on it, and then you can give back.
So
That's what I
self-love.
feel. So self-love,
But we
and then
also
you can
don't,
give
I mean,
back.
I don't you all feel that we're living in times of this toxic positivity, yeah? This nonsense about love yourself no matter what, and I'm sorry, yeah, it gets a bit annoying, I mean, I can't handle it. I mean, I just love it when people say, how are you? I say, I'm feeling terrible. I'm like, thank you, can I sit with you, please? Because, I'm just so tired of this, oh, I got it, and I'm my best, and I'm the hero, and I mean, come on, yeah. So that also is a bit much.
So you're saying if you're in pain, you have to
So I'm saying
accept
that,
that.
we
No,
also
I'm
become
not
a
saying
society
deny.
that
I'm
is
not
so.
saying deny the
No,
pain
I'm
or
not saying
anything.
you are saying. I'm saying society put so much of pressure on winning everything. My point is, no, you cannot win every day. You have to fall back someday. You have to fall hard. You have to kind of, you have to. That's why we spoke about failures earlier. It's those rough times, the bad times that teach you far more. It's who's with you in the bad times that count, not when everything is all gung ho. So I feel that it's okay. You don't have, I mean, this Instagrammable happiness and positivity, and I can't take it after a point. Yeah, it's exhausting.
Okay, I want to
Sharika is
add
saying
one
the
point to
right
that.
thing.
One second. No, I'm just saying about the self-love. My point is that, of course, friendships, and you
Yeah,
fall
put
out.
yourself first.
I'm saying my point is that
Yes.
you cannot give from an empty cup.
No, you cannot.
You
That's
cannot
true.
give
Yes.
love unless you love yourself. If you don't love yourself, I'm talking about people that have gone through really broken. Okay, they have different ways of. I've just come out only 2 years ago out of a 20-year long relationship, 18-year long marriage. I have two sons, and I'm going through the process of filling the cup right now.
Right.
And I really believe that unless my cup is filled, and that's why I prefer being to myself in solitude a lot these days, because I want to fill my own cup and empower myself. And I have good days and I have bad days. I have days where I cry, oh, this is really difficult. But once my cup is full, I feel I can love the world. I can love anybody and give real love.
So being whole in yourself.
Yeah, being whole.
I think what you're saying is that you're waking up to the fact that, that you are enough for yourself. And I think that that's what they say, when you're lonely, when you're alone, then you're in bad company. So that's what I'm saying. The point I was making earlier is that, whether you use a man, or you use a bottle, or you use fame, or you use anything to fill that vacuum in your soul, in that sense, that we are addicts. Even workaholism, it's an addiction. But then because you're bringing money home, people don't question that. So,
Absolutely. Priyanka.
So, how I look at it is this: when you say what would you advise as far as heart is concerned, I look at the heart as love, empathy, kindness, respect, dignity. I look at it from that perspective. So if someone's giving me love, great. If someone's giving me respect, great. Dignity, great. That is what I fought for all my life. All I tell all the women or all the men out there, that whatever you do with all your heart in that place. So today, even if I criticize this government, I criticize with all my heart, simply because I believe this government is not good for my nation, for the future generations to come, and what it is feeding to the future generations to come. That is what I feel, and that is why I object with all my heart. I do my politics with all my heart in place, simply because I believe politicians should be doing goodness. They are in that position. We have come into this position after of course, our struggles, of course, our journeys, but people have given us that faith to be able to, change the narrative. So do it with all your heart. So whatever I've taken up in my life has been all heart, of course, with mind in place. But heart is necessary for the empathy, for the kindness, for the understanding, for the dignity of all, for the respect for all, and of course, above it all, the love. And that is what a relationship
So
is.
can I
about.
say that all of
no,
us
I agree
feel-
completely, and I think that a very important point you brought up on the word dignity.
Yeah,
Dignity.
And I think that's what when we spoke earlier about, about how you feel that only a woman who might be a CEO of a company, or might be somebody well placed apparently, is empowered. No, I think that the real wisdom lies in rural India. I think that women who have really nothing, but in that sense, I think that somewhere along the line, the opposite of income, poverty is not income, it's dignity.
Dignity.
Wow, yes.
You give
yes.
dignity is what we all want within our workspace, in a relationship, from our children, from our bosses, from everywhere.
So we all believe that we should follow our hearts, with dignity and self-respect being the prime aspect, right? Great. So anybody has any questions here? Yeah. We have a questions first. Then yeah. Anyone has any questions? Oh, Namrata. Yes.
So wonderful, said Sarika. I really resonate with you. I want to ask a question to Pooja. Pooja, I am also like I just got 50 this year, and I've brought up and in my young age listening to your song "Oh Mere Sapno Ke Saudagar," and I really believed that one day in White Horse a man will come and all that wonderland. I was fooled, but when I got married, when it came the reality and in my dreams back of the mind, I always think of your message and you come in my manifestation. So happy to see you and your empowerment. So, because that's what was inspired us that, okay, this will happen. And now looking at you, how it, changes and the way you changed the life and the way you took over. It was amazing lesson. Like all the women here and whom I know in our community of 80,000 entrepreneurs we have, we all take your example. Thank you for being you.
It was her birthday right now.
Yeah, so it was my birthday, 50th birthday, and when I was asked, the question is that how do you deal with all this? Like when you come out, like today also you're looking so nice and glowing, and it's not easy to deal. The negativity inside what we have, toxic world, what you said, we deal with it. We put our makeup, oh, everything is fine, and look. What helps you to get out of this so
I don't keep anything inside. I'm incapable. I believe that internal bleeding is more dangerous. Even joy becomes a burden when you can't laugh.
But what helps
So I let it out. I let it out. I just, if I feel despair, I feel despair fully.
How? How?
I mean, I just allow. If I don't, if I
Just
want to cry, I will
cry your
cry.
eyes out.
If I want to scream, I will bury my head in a There are a million questions that go far beyond the will a man come into your life or not, and will this movie work or not. I mean, it's just existential questions that completely plague my soul. But then I'm like, no, you can't, because that's what people want you. They want. That's how they defeat you, is by allowing you to be there in despair. So the nature of life is that it just.
No, but really my question is, are you really happy that there is no Sapno Ka Saudagar and you are all by yourself?
Well, if he
That's
comes
my-
along, wonderful. But I'd like him to maintain his own house, because I don't see myself sharing my space. You see, I'm 51. One of the reasons I did Big Boss was I wanted to see whether I could share that space with 12 people. And I mean, I came very close to killing a lot of them, but I controlled myself. I was rather
I
zen.
could never do Big Boss.
Yeah.
I could never.
But the point is that, I mean, if he comes along, great. If he doesn't, he doesn't. Am I going to be defined by a man who has come or not come into my life? No. I've been there, done, and bought and sold the t-shirt. I've known some wonderful men, some rakish ones, some wonderful ones. That's happened. Now it has to happen. It has to happen for different reasons. I mean, and frankly, I wouldn't want him to come appear on a horse, because I would not want to see horses on the streets of Bombay anyway. I mean, if he doesn't come in on his bike or whatever the hell he has, or an electric car ideally, great. My heart is open. But are you coming to rescue me? No, buddy. I don't need to be rescued. You want to be a companion and walk alongside? Great. There's room for that. But I don't need to be rescued. I'm enough. I'm good enough. No, I don't need the horsepower. That's a good one.
There's a line in the book. Yeah, anyone else want to share? We'll go on to that. But pertaining to this, there's a line, a waitress overhears a conversation between two friends talking about marriage in the book, and she's got tattoos and piercings and everything. Young waitress, and she's like, "Listen, I can't help it. Overhearing your conversation. You know what? My marital status doesn't. I'm not defined by my marital status." So this line, I feel like whether you're married, not married, gay, straight, transgender, whatever, just find your happiness. You have a companion to share your life. Like what she's saying, it's about sharing your life. You don't need, the moment you start feeling like you need, I feel, that's the
I don't
thing.
want to bog someone down with that, I mean, I don't think that you can, it's unfair to expect anyone to have solutions to your issues. You need to first sort that out, and I think that's what you meant by saying that your cup needs
That's
to
what
be
I
full.
meant, yeah.
Is that first get everything in order inside you. It's about finding the right person and also being the right person. And the audacity to kind of look at something and say, hey, it's not working. Because I think that society and our families tell us that, no, now you're in this, now you have to stay in this, now you've got kids, this is not your age. What do you mean? Now you're 50, what are you talking about ending a marriage? Hello? Even at 90, it's not too too late, I feel.
When I met Pooja just recently, and
Or
I...
you to get married for that matter. If you find somebody you want to get married 25 times, I'm all for whatever gets you through the night.